Hello? Hello? Good morning. Good morning. Members, specially invited guests, I'm calling on everyone, please take your seats. We are about to begin. We are about to start this our 45th annual general meeting. The meeting will be chaired by Mr. Cyril Mason, our president. And I now invite the Board of Delegates to take position. Ladies and gentlemen, members, a round of applause for your hard-working board of directors.
Good morning, members, and friends, and well-wishers. We are about to start the 45th AGM of the First Regional Credit Union. So if we can have persons seated so that we can proceed with the meeting. Once again, I would just like to welcome all of us to this, our 41st meeting, 45th annual general meetings. We give God thanks for life and for the opportunity of sharing in this AGM today. The meeting will be chaired by me, Cyril Mason, as Mr. Billings indicated, as President of the Board of Directors. So, without any further ado, let us proceed in formally starting the meeting. I call upon our Assistant Secretary, Director Mullins, to advise us whether there is a quorum.
Yes, sir. Good morning. I can do say we do have a quorum. We have a number 126 members present here.
Is 100. We might not look as if there's 100, but we also want to welcome those persons online that joined us for this meeting. COVID has reinforced the point that we don't have to be in the same place to be sharing in activities. So I'd just like to thank Mr. Mullins for the information. This meeting is now therefore called to order. We ask Bishop Rankit Clark, Director of the Board, to lead us in our devotion.
Good morning, everyone. Could I invite you all to stand? As we are privileged to be here this morning, I just want to invite you to, with me, this chorus. Thanks, thanks. I give you thanks. I guess most of us know it. Could we all sing? Thanks, thanks. I give you thanks for all you have done. I am so blessed, my soul is at rest. Oh Lord, I give you thanks. Thanks, thanks. I give you thanks for all you have done. I am so blessed, my soul is at rest. Oh Lord, I give you thanks. You bow your heads. Our eternal God, the mighty God, this morning we want to give you thanks from the deep of our heart and recognizing your goodness towards us. Through the period you have spared our lives, we want to say thanks. We travel from different areas this morning to be in this meeting. We give you thanks for protection. We give you thanks for guidance. As we embark on this AGM meeting, we invite your divine presence among us. We know not what the future is, the next moment, but we can rely and depend on you for your protection and for your guidance. So I put to you this morning the one that is in charge, the president, the CEO, and we want to thank you for First Regional Cooperative Credit Union. The blessing it has been to many families, and the blessing you have allowed it to prosper. We want to honor you this morning. And again, we want to say thanks. Whatever the procedures will today, we put it in your hand as we say thanks in your mighty name, in Jesus' name.
We thank Bishop Clark for the prayer. And now we stand again for the Credit Union prayer, which is the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. It will be reflected on the board, on the screen. So we stand for the prayer. Sorry for the good exercise in the morning. Lord, make me an instrument Thank you. You can be seated.
Fellow corporators, today it is my distinct pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to the 45th Annual General Meeting of your credit union, the First Regional Cooperative Credit Union Limited, where you get interest on your money and interest in you. Let me also welcome our special guests. We have from the Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Societies, Mr. Alton Stamp. We have, and he is the compliance officer. We have Miss Howell, sorry about that. Ms. Howell is the Acting Director of Inspectorate at the Department of Cooperatives, and she's also a compliance officer. We have from CUNA Caribbean Jamaican Limited, Miss Donette Hunter. Miss Hunter, where are you? Please stand and be acknowledged. Right. Miss Hunter is the operations manager. I know Mr. Jones is a Sabbath keeper, but I have his name here. Is he here? Okay. From the League, representing the League, we have no other than Kimberly Lindo, who has been with us for the last couple of years. Ms. Lindo is the Member Services Officer at the League. Ms. Lindo, thank you. From HLB Mayor Russell, we have Mr. Andrew Thompson, Audit Manager, and his dear wife, Lisa Street Thompson. And we also have Sharon Lazarus, who is also an Audit Manager at HLB Mayor Russell. We have the Health, Education and Promotions Officer of Northeast Regional Health Authority, Mrs. Michelle Basaraj White. Are you here? Miss Lashane Mead, the Manager, Moon Palace. Welcome. Miss Jennifer Chambers, HR Generalist, Associated Manufacturers Limited. Is she here? Okay. Mr. Lanthony White sent apologies. He's on his way. And Miss Judith Bell, both are nominee volunteers. Fellow corporators, it is indeed a special privilege to be here today at our 45th Annual General Meeting. The meeting is to inform you of the operations of First Regional during the past financial year. I will say on behalf of the board, the management, the staff of First Regional, we are pleased to report, we are very pleased to report that First Regional delivered a phenomenal performance in 2022, which was highlighted by record-breaking financial achievements that signified First Regional's full recovery from the decline in income that spawned from the harsh economic conditions that were produced by the COVID-19 pandemic. Corporators, emphasis must be placed on the fact that these praiseworthy achievements were preceded by 2 consecutive years of grueling operational challenges at First Regional. And they give credence to the colloquial expression, the comeback is always stronger than the setback. Having satisfactorily achieved our strategic objectives, your credit union has indeed remained safe, solid, solvent, and secure, and has continued to foster a culture of growth and the development of our members. and the communities in which we serve through consistent, outstanding service delivery. The loyalty and support from you, our members, the selfless and dedicated service from all our volunteers, and the hard work, dedication, and commitment displayed by our staff continue to be the driving force behind First Regional's success. Our very good run in 2022 saw us being recognized. We received the Renford Douglas Credit Union of the Year Runner-Up Award in the large size credit union categories, and the QMax Wealth Management Award for being the 2022 Fixed Income Champion for the highest value of bonds traded at the Jamaica Co-operative Credit Union League's convention in June this year. So, cooperators, specially invited guests, on behalf of the Board of Directors, I applaud the entire First Regional team for another successful year. May we give them a round of applause. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Now that we have moved most of the formalities, we ask that the notice from the Registrar of Cooperatives be read by the Assistant Secretary.
Good morning. Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Societies, Charities, Authority, Jamaica. Ministry of Investment and Commerce. 2 Musgrave Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica, West Indies. The Secretary, First Regional Cooperative Credit Union Limited, 14 Bravo Street, Sentence Bay, Senton. Dear Sir, Madam, I hereby forward with the financial statements of your society for the year ended December 31st, 2022. The annual general meeting, AGM, must be convened under Regulation 19, 21, and 25 of the Cooperative Societies Amendment Regulations 2021. At least 7 days' notice shall be given before the meeting is held. A copy of your report, which you intend to present to the AGM on the year's working of society, as set forth in Regulations 35, subsection B of the Cooperative Societies Regulations, should be forwarded to this office. Kindly advise the department of the date of the annual general meeting so that arrangements can be made for representation. Yours truly, Laverne Gibson Eccleston, Mrs., for Registrar of Cooperative Societies and Friendly Societies. Notice of Annual General Meeting. Notice is hereby given that the 45th Annual General Meeting of First Regional Cooperative Credit Union Limited will be held by hybrid means at the Sandals Ocherius Beach Resort, 130 to 131 Main Street, Ocherius, St. Anne, and online. Saturday, July 29, 2023, commencing at 9 a.m. The purpose of the meeting is to, 1, examine the operations of the credit union for the year 2022. 2, consider any other business that may be properly transacted at the annual general meeting in accordance with the rules of the credit union. To attend the meeting online, members are invited to register on our website, www.firstregionalcreditunion.com. Registration online begins July 21, 2023 at 8 a.m. and closes July 28, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. Members will need to verify their accounts in order to complete the registration online using their TRN and account numbers. For more information on attendance, participation, registration, and the voting process, please visit our website, www.firstregionalcreditunion.com, or any of our branches, or call 876-707-2048. Board of Directors, thank you. Now we move on to apologies for absence. Apologies for absence. Honorable Norma Walters, Custos Rotolium for the parish of St. Anne. Mrs. Lorraine Brownwright, Secretary, Board of Directors. Mr. Sean Harris, Assistant Treasurer, Board of Directors. Mr. Peter McHugh, Director, Board of Directors. Mrs. Eloise Brown Panton, Secretary, Supervisory Committee. Mr. Michael Mackenzie, Member, Supervisory Committee. Ms. Tanisha Facey, Director of Inspectorate, Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Societies. Mr. Sixto Coy, Partner, HLB, Mayor Russell. Mrs. Suzette Barnes Wilson, Chairman, Supervisory Committee. That's it. Thank you.
Thank Mr. Director Mullins for carrying us through those sections of the meeting. We are on apology. Is there any apology from the floor? If there's none, we move on to the introduction of the Board of Directors. As indicated before, I am Cyril Mason, President of the Board. We have the Reverend Dr. Glenroy Layla, First Vice President. Can just indicate by standing. No, body know ya. Mrs. Pollyanna Brown Mullins, Second Vice President. Mr. Patrick Brand, Treasurer. Mr. Cecil Gordon, Director. You have Mr. Mullins, Assistant Treasurer. You have seen him and heard him earlier. We have Bishop Rankin Clark, Director. We have Ms. Suzette Wilson, Director. And all of us know Mr. Billings, the CEO. Let's give them a round of applause. These are persons who have volunteered to serve the credit union in this capacity. And as Mr. Billings indicated that for this year, the credit union has done well, and it is through the effort of the Board of Directors, the CEO, and the team, because without all section, the success wouldn't be there. It's a team effort. So we would like to give a round of applause to the staff and CEO of the First Regional Credit Union. And if you are keen in noticing, you realize that Mr. Billings is no longer acting CEO, but is the CEO. The Bible tells us that the Lord give it, and the Lord also take it away. During 2022, some persons were promoted to higher heights. And if you reflect on the board, you see the names of members who have died during 2022. If there is somebody who you know that passed as a member of the credit union, and then name is not reflected, we can give it now that we make a note of it. So if you don't say a name that I know that the person has passed in 2022, then you can say it and we make a note of it. So now we stand and observe a minute silent in memory of those members. May their soul rest in eternal peace, and light perpetual shine upon them. Thank you. We just want to remind those persons online that they can participate by raising their hands, and then the person will indicate to the chair, and you will be acknowledged to participate. Now we move to the confirmation of the minutes of the 44th AGM. The minutes were circulated. They can be found on pages 10 to 12 in the handbook. Hope that we had an opportunity of reading these minutes. On that assumption, I would like to invite a motion that we take the minutes as being read. Can we get a motion? In giving the motion, we need a name and the branch and the branch from which you can use the mic just so that it can be.
morning, everyone.
Morning.
Sheikha Strong, team leader, Highgate branch. I hereby move that the minutes be taken as read.
Can we get a second? Second answer.
Good morning, everyone. Suzette Robinson from Negril branch. I've read the report from last week, and I'm moving a motion to take the report as read.
Thank you. So it was moved and seconded. So the question is now, all in favor? Anyone against? Anyone abstaining? So the motion has been carried. So we can take the report has been read. Now we move to corrections or any helpful suggestions in terms of the minutes. All right, so we're at page 10. Can move to page 11. Okay, we can move to page 12. If there's no correction or suggestions, can we ask for someone to move for the confirmation of the minutes? Use the mic for the confirmation of the minutes. The person moving should be at the last AGM. It can be seconded by anyone, but the person moving should be at the last AGM. Patrick Haywood, Port Maria, seconded by, never get a name. K. Winsome Grant, okay. Windsor Grant, okay. Now that has been moved and seconded, all in favor? Body against? Body abstaining? Move. Now we move to matters arising from the minutes. Is there any matter that we would like to discuss that reflected in the minutes? Oh, Mr. Haywood? But may I use the mic?
I must congratulate the financial performance of the credit union, but listen now. The highest total income in the history of our operations. When I hear that sort of language, I tend to get nervous. I want to see the percentage. I really want to see the percentage. Like you have capital base to total asset. There's a 13%. On that, is it that the total asset, there was an increase or there was a reduction in the capital base? What was it?
wait, just for clarity.
Now I'm going back
No,
to...
man. You're going back to 2021. You're talking, if you guys are...
Recorded a capital base to total asset ratio of 14, so that is a reduction from 21.
Yes.
So my question is it a reduction in the total asset? No, the increase in total asset or reduction in the capital base?
Increase in the total assets.
What was that increase?
I don't have the percentage, but
No, this percent, no, what was that increase in the total asset?
let me just.
Maybe just guide us. What page you on?
Second page of your report. Eh?
Of my report?
No, man, the gentleman is saying that we are not here yet. Oh, Mr. Previous.
That was my impression. That was my impression.
Sorry.
So we're dealing with issues that arose in 2021. That would be reflected in the minutes of 2021.
Right. Okay, thank you. Mr. President and members of the First Regional Cooperative Credit Union, I just want to ask, Mr. President, since there was no distribution for 2021, what will be the position for 2022, seeing that we have a good surplus? I just want to know if there will be distribution this year. Thank you.
The question is a kind of borderline between the current the current year and last year. There was no increase in, there was no payment in 2021, for 2021. I can assure that there will be payment for 2023. 22.
Yes. And I should have said, sir, I must commend the credit union, the board,
No payment in the minutes.
the management and staff for the good performance, seeing that we have had intervention of the COVID-19 and we bounced back. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, so get that would cover the matters arising. I see that we're getting a little bit ahead of our time, but the organization is for the members, so we have to accommodate them. Once we don't break any rules and regulations that the league has set down. But okay. So we can move on now to the reports. And the first will be the report of the board. And these reports were circulated prior to the meetings. So in the same manner, we would like someone to move that we take these reports as being read. We can get someone to move that.
I've read the report, and I'm moving the motion for the report to be taken as read.
Can we get someone to second it? Everybody hear the name? From the Negril branch. All in favor? Anybody against? Anybody abstaining? The report is therefore carried. But what we'll do is to give you some highlights. You have a, no, you have the Yeah. Highlights of the activities that stood out in 2022. That person resemble me, could be brother. So we have seen where we have been a 9 billion mark. Oh, sorry. We have surpassed the 9 million mark in total assets. Billion. And the credit union remain, the treasurer will give you more detail in terms of the financials. Credit union remains safe, solid, secure, and solvent. And that is our mantra. That when you turn up at the credit union, your money will be there, working for you. In these times, a person talk about transparent, fair, disciplined, ethical. Credit union, first regional, have all those qualities. We are very transparent, that's why we are here today. Very fair, a disciplined body, and ethical. We try and endeavor to ensure that we abide by the regulations and financial practice that are either by law, procedures, or otherwise, to ensure that we are always in keeping with the authorities. On behalf of the board and management and the team, we can assure you that we assess our risks and try to manage them as careful and as prudent as possible. As to stewardship was displayed in the management of the credit union resources. Mr. Billings indicated earlier that coming from a deficit in 2020 to a surplus, the biggest in the history of the credit union, showed that the resources were really managed properly. We also ensure that the community in which we operate and the wider community also receive, we also give back to those communities. So corporate social responsibility programs are always up and running. And here we give an idea how solid we are. 9.49 billion in total asset. Our surplus is 270 million. Our income is 73 million. Capital base ratio is 14.85%. Here we give an example of those persons that we made contribution to during the period. And this is just an example of some of the places that we made our contribution to. We also show that through those contributions, we are a silver sponsor for the Jamaica's Cancer Society Center, Pink Run Walk, participate in the Men Health Fair, calling men 40 and over to ensure that they do their tests. But that most males are afraid to do prostate tests. Whatever do it, annually, you might live until you're old. So we encourage the men to facilitate a little discomfort because it might mean extension of life. And sometimes it's not really extension of life, but it's the pain and the suffering. It's really easy of that. Conducted health fair during the week of Credit Union Week, and we continue to show our various donations to youth and children welfare. And maybe we can just throw this out there. If you have a worthy cause in your community, you can write to your credit union to participate in that worthy cause. Our social responsibility is limited to a certain group. Once members of the credit union have a project that they believe the community can benefit from, then they can seek the help of the credit union. It will not always be yes, but we try to support as best as we can. Talking about the feeding program at Runaway Prairie Town and New Orange Hill Primary and Infant School. Human capital, we ensure that our staff keep up with modern technology and upgrade themselves. Most professionals insist that they have continuous development, so we ensure that our staff keep abreast with the current trends in their different professions. We have internal training and external training to facilitate those efforts. We realize that information technology is the way to go. Today we were able to have meetings, in this meeting, with person online and person in the building. In terms of our information technology, we have the MasterCard. We're delayed for a time, but before the end of this year, shorter than that, all will be able to get a MasterCard once you so desire. We have started distributing, so you can apply for the MasterCard. We are moving online. One of the setbacks is that we are not able now to stay in our bed and do our transaction. So that is where we are going now, where you can stay home and do your transaction in the comfort of your home, work, or wheresoever you so desire. So we are looking at online banking to take us there. The board continues to update its corporate strategies and processes to remain competitive. Because most banks now are almost acting as credit union. So we have to be on our P's and Q's to ensure that we remain an organization where people help people. We'd like to thank all our members who have supported us during the course of the year. Without you, there wouldn't be a first regional. So we'd just like to extend our thanks to the members for their support and continued confidence in the management of the first regional credit union. I believe we can give ourselves a round of applause for that. We have 2 committees where a person volunteer, and sometimes it's at odd hours. So most of these meetings are held after working time. So person after working for a full day volunteer to enhance the output of the credit union by serving on the supervisory committee and the credit committee. I want to give them a round of applause for their selfish nature. During their reports, they will identify themselves. We want to really extend our great gratitude on behalf of the members this time to our CEO and management and staff for the excellent job that they have been doing. We give them a round of applause for that. And we have some affiliates that assisted us during the course of the year, like the League. I always can bounce on them for ideas, opinion, and guidance. We have Kuna Caribbean Insurance, Jamaica Co-operative Insurance Agency. My worst thing for this call name, but sometimes I might leave out. But all those affiliates that assisted us during the course of the year, and we would like to extend our gratitude to the auditors, HLB Mayors Russell, for preparing our financial statement. Without them, you wouldn't have any confidence in the figures that we prepare and present to you. They are the ones that give you the assurance that what is on paper really exists in the office. And we leave the most important one for the last. The regulators, the Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Society, and the Bank of Jamaica. These are the persons that guide us as to how we should operate and are always there to assist us to ensure that what we are doing are legal within the framework of the cooperatives, and they are ensuring that our members' funds are managed in a proper manner. So the regulators are there to protect members and to guide us in what we do. So we just wanted to give a round of applause to all the affiliates. I would also like to extend special thanks to my fellow directors for their unwavering support and diligence in executing their duties. These persons attend meetings, live in various parts, St. Mary, St. Anne, Kingston, and they give up their time and their talent. And I would like to really extend gratitude that person with such talents are able to share these talents with the credit union. And sometimes they spend long hours. So we just like to give them a round of applause for their dedication to the First Regional Credit Union. And we come to the most important set now, is that the members of the credit union, we really want to extend our gratitude to you for the faith and confidence that you have in the credit union. We hope that the service was to your satisfaction, and where there are areas that you believe can be improved, we ask for suggestions, but we are grateful. Without you, there wouldn't be any Sandals meeting this morning. We wouldn't really able to sit around these tables, not have this meeting. You are the one that caused it. So we just want to you to give yourself a big round of applause. And that will give us a gist of what transpired during 2022. And maybe at this point, maybe Mr. Ewood can hold his point until the treasurer come to the podium. he will be in a better position to address that issue. Is there any matter that we would like to discuss from what was seen on the board or what was said in terms of the chairman report? All right, can we have a motion for the adoption of the report? Oh, Mr. Anybody?
I just want to make a suggestion, sir.
Yes, sir.
Could we have the report given, say, at least 7 days before the AGM at the branches?
No,
I was thinking that once a member go and have he or she named registered or listed there, could pick up a copy of the report.
I believe you could pick up a copy at the various branches from last week, Friday, and so forth.
Well, I got mine this week. Was it this week, Thursday? I was hoping that because I went there before, but I didn't get it.
Okay.
But I got it Thursday. It would give me a little more time.
Yeah.
You know, like my age group, I need a little more time to.
Yeah, we make a note of that.
Okay. There's another thing, sir. The when we had a membership drive, we had a committee called the Education Committee. I don't know if you are aware of it. That committee used to go out, encourage members, encourage prospective persons to join the credit union. It will give them what it needs, what is necessary to become a member. Now I noticed that there were only 3 arms of the credit union here: the board, the supervisor, the board, the supervisory committee, and the credit committee. I am suggesting, sir, if we could look at the matter of having an education committee to encourage prospective persons to become members of the credit union and other matters. Thank you.
One thing with the education committee, I believe it was a volunteer group that used to go out and solicit on behalf of the credit union. What we have done is to improve on that. What we have done is to hire a person, pay them, and ask them to do the same jobs. We call that marketing, public relations. So we have a marketing and public relations section that do exactly what you said. Because in order to get consistency, because when you volunteer, boss might tell you that you can't leave this evening. So there will be no educational meeting. But when you pay somebody, you have more control to do this. So that's what we have done. We have incorporated in the structure of the credit union because of the importance role that it can play in terms of enlightening and spreading the good news that the best credit union around is First Regional. So we are doing that.
Yes, yes, sir. I acknowledge that. So that is done at the branches, sir. You have somebody who does that
We have a department, a total department that does
Okay.
that. So they move right through Jamaica, from Negril to Portland, Morant Bay.
The second thing, another thing I'm looking at, sir, is I don't see the credit union advertising like on the communication on this public system, like on the radio or TV, whatever, pertaining to service offerings. I don't know if we don't reach that standard yet. Could you say something on that, sir?
Yeah, but if I remember something right, I'm sure it's the Bursa work related to accounts. What is important about advertising is that you have to ensure that you advertise to the right market. You can advertise for various reasons. You can advertise because you want the world to know about you. But what is important is the return that they get for that advertisement. Some people that see advertise on TV, radio, and so forth, check their financials. They can't afford even the advertisement. What we have done is to target our audience, who we need. Remember, the credit union have a bond, so we advertise within that bond. So we use social media, we use the marketing people and social light to ensure that we capture. So that we don't advertise here on media and English. And if you notice now, if you want to be effective, social media beat any original or the TV and radio. We don't want to know things, we turn to social media. But that is the thing, in certain events, because we usually advertise when you have like big sporting event, we usually run an ad. Because the take up there is great. But you don't just advertisement, those are just a show of money. So I understand you say that maybe you want to see it from RGR and TVG and so forth, but to what end? We just have to be practical.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Okay then, thank you too. So you would.
What Mr. Isaacs has said, in the good old days, we had people employee of the credit union, but you have volunteers in that particular area. So go to a place like Brenard. There would be a member in Brenard who can go around, show the nook and cranny, and then the people know these persons. So they will tend to want to join quicker than the employees coming. So it's good to include volunteers who are in the community. You target that population, and you get the results in those times were very good. So hopefully it can still work.
Yeah, so the marketing committee members are here, no committee, department. So they can take a note of that. A very good solution is that maybe we can identify, you think guy's name? No, bro. Ratri. Now you can identify a person like Mr. Ratri in here as an very good solution.
Yes. I'm Maurice Bryson, Discover Bay. I'd just like to make a comment based on what we're talking about in terms of membership drive. You did mention about you have an organized section of the credit union that is doing this. There's talk about volunteerism regarding it. I think what is important regarding the advertisement part of it, and maybe the group that you talk about too, is the matter of what is the return on that investment. We treat it as an investment, and we look to see what did we get? Was it worth it? Or should we look again to see what is it we should do? Because I believe all expenditures that we do, there should be some return, some benefit, something that can enhance us and makes us even stronger. So that is the thinking I think we should do when it comes to strategies or expenditures for the credit union.
A very good suggestion. And that's basically the point I'm making, is that you have to assess the return on the investment. Everything you spend, you have to see what you get in return. Don't spend because your neighbor's spending, but how will it benefit you? Or will it enhance the functions of the credit union and image and so forth? So the bottom line is the return. No? Any other question?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Millicent Mackenzie from the Highgate branch. And members of the platform, good morning. I would like to know, you see, sometimes you have like a US account. If you guys don't do that in credit union. Because I've been asking from a long time now and I don't get any answers.
The Bank of Jamaica has restricted us from doing that.
Okay, I didn't know that, sorry.
But what you can do, you can get and we'll change it to Jamaica and save it for you.
Sometimes I get it in the business that I do. And you might get a $2 or a $3 or a $100, and you have to go to another bank to do it while you have that thing where you do at credit union. When I'm going, I don't have any other account, so I credit union, I do it.
But the Bank of Jamaica have restricted from doing foreign
I
exchange.
didn't know that,
Yeah.
because I can't bother to go and join the next line somewhere else to do that.
So, strictly speaking, you have to change it somewhere else and carry the cash. Not to change, we can't change it for you. Yeah? Okay. The thing is, when a big body, it have to give people reason. Bank of Jamaica say, you know, if you do it, so all they do, you don't do it. Yeah, but the CEO say, if you have a foreign exchange, he's willing to change it for you, the Jamaicans. Now, man, I think you can, man. Every mickle make a muckle.
Yeah.
But that is the reason. And, another question?
It's me again, sir.
Okay.
Maurice Bryson, Discovery Bay.
You're the person that did the organ and so forth?
I do, sir, yes.
Okay.
Just following up on the question by my fellow member about the foreign exchange matter. Is this something that the Credit Union League will be looking at to see if it can be a part of your business? Because there are greater opportunities, as you know, beyond our borders. And I don't know what restrictions the credit union is imposed on the credit union where that is concerned. I believe maybe the BOJ is opening up a little bit, because I know, for instance, with pension schemes, they were thinking of giving limited opportunities to pension scheme to look into foreign exchange business. So we have great markets beyond our borders. So I don't know if that is something that the Credit Union League would be looking at and exploring to see how it can even give us members greater benefits. That is what I'm
I believe
asking.
this is something that we can take up with the league to see if that can be accommodating. If there's no other questions, can we get a move for the... Somebody again? Use the mic.
The report. But I was wondering, sorry, if we couldn't have the branches, or there's a main branch. I don't know. I call it headquarters. A main branch in the report with the numbers and maybe the email or whatever you. So that members can communicate, can ask questions when necessary. Yes, that's my question, sir. Thank you.
The CEO will consider your... There's in numbers, question numbers are on the back of the booklet, and all of us have phone we can Google. If you Google it, you get it too. And it's on the web page, website, and so forth. But maybe we can put it on a page that is more pronounced, I don't know. The people, maybe we can put one on a page that is more pronounced on the back. All right, so we can move for the adoption of the minutes now. We have a special time for lunch. If we pass the lunchtime, there will be no lunch. So, unless we are fasting today. So, we are not going to diminish the discussion, but we can move briskly. All right, so we move for the adoption of the report. I use the mic now because the person taking in the minutes need to be clear. Just use the mic. Moved by Sharon O'Connor, seconded by Ivan Silver from Portmore Branch. All in favor? Anybody against? Anybody abstaining? The report has been adopted. All right. So we can give you something to make a load a bit heavier when you are leaving the meeting. You want something to make a load a bit heavier when you leave the meeting? All right. We call upon Mr. Brown.
All protocols observed. Good morning, First Regional family. And you know you're supposed to smile when you see Mr. Brown, right? Nice. Because I have the giveaways. All right. And you know, like, it's normally customary for me to read phone cards. All right. But this time, they're actually posted or taped under the bottom of your notepads. So there are a few winners, not every notepad, but there are a few notepads that have a phone card taped to the back of it. And if you want, just lift up, wave and tell you that you win. So we're spreading the wealth. So nobody can say that we're like picking on the persons in particular. We did it randomly. So congratulations to all the winners. Give yourself a round of applause. Awesome, awesome. And if it is that you don't get a card that is in line with the phone that you have, you can share it. You know me, we're all winners. Give it to a member who has the lime or have the floor, right? Cool. Okay, thank you, sir. All right, so we're going to still give away. As you can see, the gift is right there on the stage. Our theme this year is enabling growth and development wherever you are, right? And we constantly want to continue doing that. But we have air fryer to give away. Woohoo! Woohoo! It's the hell to wear, right? Yes, yes. But you have to answer a question. It's an easy question. And we're going to do it in an orderly fashion. After I've asked the question, raise your hand. The directors are going to help me. One moment. Oh, yes. And special guests from the Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Societies, you're going to, and the League, right? All our and the committees, just please assist me, right? And just point out the person who would have raised their hands first, and they can go ahead and answer the question, all right? Janisha, you have to wait. All right, so the question is, everybody can participate. Are we? No, stop. Yes, so I've been advised, no staff. External members. For the staff, you're going to have your own. You're going to have your own. Don't worry about it, right? All right, so quick. Thank you, Jody. All right. So the question is, what is the credit union's movement core philosophy? Oh, lady in the blue. Go ahead. Woohoo! We have a winner. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Director Gordon, I just ask you to present her with her brand new air fryer. Come to the front so the photographer can get your picture. Oh, look at that, look at that. All right, come on, congratulate her. You know what I mean? We love to see people win. And don't feel left out. There's a lot more to come. And it only gets better from here. All right? So sit tight and continue to enjoy the meeting. I'll be back in a few.
We thank Mr. Brown for the distribution of prizes. So we thank Director Gordon and Mr. Brown in that exercise. Now we have the report of the Credit Committee.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am going to ask the members of the Credit Committee to stand. Ms. Florette Henry, Mr. Lantony. Is Lantony here? No? Or he's still on his way? Mr. Shippey is not here today. Ms. Carrie Brown. And these are the persons who work assiduously to have us have a committee that works to help our credit union. You may be seated. Thank you. The credit committee report has been circulated, and I'm sure that you have gone through it. So I'm hereby requesting a motion for it to be taken as read. It's on page 31 of your annual report. May I have a motion for it to be taken as read? Your name and your branch.
My name is Paulette Gardner Johnson. I hereby move that the report of the credit committee meeting be, the report of the credit committee meeting be
taken
moved.
as read.
Yes, taken as read.
Thank you. Somebody to second?
My name is Carol Johnson Bell. I beg to second.
All in favor? Any against? The ayes have it. Thank you. Are there any questions? There be no questions. Can we have a motion for the adoption of the credit committee report? Can we have a motion for the adoption? Okay, we take your name, please. This lady up front.
From the Ocherios branch.
Thank you. And the gentleman at the back? Miss. Thank you very much. All in favor? Any against? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank the supervisor committee, the credit committee for the report. Ms. Case did the presentation. Now we move to the supervisor committee. We have that report.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. President, I would like to acknowledge the members of the Supervisory Committee, Chairperson, Mrs. Suzette Barnes Wilson, Secretary, Mrs. Eloise Brown Panton, and Mr. Mikhail Mackenzie. They are unavoidably absent today, but we have present with us today Mr. Yushu, right, I got it right, all right, Mr. Andre Yushu, and yours truly standing here, Althea Landale. My valued members, the report is on the screen. And if you have your book and you have already read, it is also found on page 33 of the annual report. Can we take the report as read? May I have a motion?
And I will get involved in this part of the exercise. So I move that the motion be taken as read.
Thank you, sir. Second? Thank you. Any question? All in favor, sorry. All in favor? Anybody against? The ayes have it. Any questions? Or any duly suggestions? If there is no questions, can we have adoption? The move for the adoption. The floor is open. You can do so now. Go ahead, thank you. Thank you. Any second? All in favor? Any against? The ayes have it. Thank you. Duly noted.
Thank the Supervisory Committee for the report. Ms. Landers present the report. I believe we can have Mr. Brown too early. We're saying that it's too early. All right. Being your servant, I will obey.
Thank you very much, President Mason. All right. Come, we get some excitement. You don't want to win. You see what's on the stage? Remote, oscillating, 18-inch fan. The summer hot, don't it? Yes, man, you need something to cool it down. You can probably put like a pan of ice water before it and you have AC. All right? But it's nice. It's nice. So we can see if we can win that one. All right? So everybody is in crew except for staff. All right? Woohoo! Okay. All right. So the question is very easy again. We wanted to win. We're all winners, right? Can you just, well, raise your hand first, wait to be acknowledged, and then you give the answer. All right? Can you just tell me 3 saving types that are offered by First Regional? Get up. Go to the mic. Go to the microphone, please. Shall we? Let's hear it. Let's hear it. And tell us any.
You have the partner plan, the
one.
solid saver, and the fixed partner one. The fixed deposit.
Come, run it again. Run it again. Run it again. Run it again.
You make me nervous, sir. So you have the partner plan, you have the solid saver, and you have the fixed deposit.
Woohoo! Yeah, man, give her a round of applause. All right, come. What's your name? What is your name?
K Windsor Grant from Roundhill.
K Windsor Grant from Roundhill.
Yes.
Come, make your way forward, please. Director Brian, could you do us honors and present the fan to her, please? Just go, go to the front. She's so excited. Look at, might not get too hot. All right, Eva, congratulate her. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Awesome. All right, I'm still going to give, excluding staff, something awesome is coming up for staff. Don't worry. We're saving something really, really nice for you, right? But for external members, again, fast fingers. We still have some phone cards because we know you need to stay connected and stay in touch. Digicel and Lime. We're not leaving out anybody. All right? For $1,000. We're going with Digicel first. Ready? I like the attentiveness. Go for it. Yes. Ready now? Digicel. So we go now. 746-340-209-6634. And just shout out when you have it. All right. Now we're going for the $1,000 flow to match. Ready? Let's go. With flow. 0437 1357 547 624. And just shout out when you've won. That means somebody has won and they're keeping it quiet. Woohoo! Jump up! Woohoo! All right, congratulations. And I'm just going to make my way to that section and I'll be back in a little while. So you guys will win again, all right?
Just like to thank Mr. Brown for the giveaways. Maybe we could suspend the agenda and just have giveaways, right? All right. The rules don't allow it. But we'll have more giveaways. All right. Now we come to the art of the credit union. We'll discuss money. And the best person to do that with us is the treasurer, Mr. Patrick Bryan. So he will guide us through this.
Hello, good morning to you all. Or is afternoon? Still morning. Yeah, good morning to everyone. I am Patrick Bryan, and I'm here to present the Treasurer's report. But before I go further, I will ask the auditors to present the auditor's report. Can you give a hand for Mr. Andrew Thompson, please, as he comes?
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. Thank you, members of the board and corporators. The independent auditor's report addressed to the registrar of the Cooperative Society, First Regional Cooperative Credit Union, a society registered under the Cooperative Societies Act. And before I start, may I be allowed to give an abbreviated version of the report? May I be allowed to give an abbreviated version of the report? All right, good.
I could do it by emotion, because there are some people sometimes, they will come back at you. Let's do it the right way. We need a motion now for the auditors, giving the auditors permission to give the abbreviated version of the IS report. Can we give a mover? Moved by Florence. Florette Henry. Seconded by Marian Case. All in favor? Aye. Anybody abstaining? Anybody against? Ayes have it.
The report of the audit of the financial statements. Our opinion, we have audited the financial statements of First Regional Cooperative Credit Union Limited, the credit union, which comprised in the statement of financial position as at December 31st, 2022, a statement of income and expenditure, statement of other comprehensive income, statement of changes in equity, and statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and the notes to the financial statement, including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statement gives a true and fair view of the financial position of the credit union as at December 31st, 2022, and its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRSs, and the requirements of the Cooperative Societies Act. The basis for our opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with International Standards on Auditing, ISAs. Our responsibilities under those standards are further explained. Are further explained in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of financial statement section of our report. We are independent of the credit union in accordance with the International Ethical Standards Board of Accounting Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, IESBA code, and we have fulfilled our ethical responsibilities in accordance with the requirements of the IESBA code. We believe that the audit evidence that we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide the basis for our opinion. Key audit matters. Key audit matters are those matters that, in our professional judgments, were of most significance in the audit of our financial statements of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the financial statement as a whole and informing our opinion thereon, and we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. As at December 31st, 2022, the loan allowances for credit losses amounted to $394.5 million, amounting to $6.3 billion, or 67% of the total asset of the credit union. We consider the measurement of expected credit loss a key audit matter, as there were a number of significant judgments by management, including determination of the criteria for the increase of credit risk, which impacts the staging of the assets and the relevant calculations for the year. The notes that follow, bullet points that follow, indicate what makes the matters key, right? And if I may be allowed, I will overlook those, right? We have tested the completeness and accuracy of the information, the historic information, and have agreed that the details of the rates and the default rates and recovery rates. Based on the procedures described in the points above, right, no material exceptions were noted in the assessment of the credit union's implementation of IFRS 9, including the provision in accordance with the newly adopted expected credit loss standards. Or we addressed the key audit matters. We assessed and tested the design and operating effectiveness of the controls over impairment data and its calculations. We tested the completeness of management's listing of potential impaired loans by recalculating the processes used by management's impairment criteria. Based on the testing, no adjustments were considered necessary. Other information. Management is responsible for other information. These other information comprises the annual report, but does not include the financial statement and our audit report. The annual report is expected to be made available to us after the date of the auditor's report. When we read the annual report, if we conclude that there are any material misstatements thereon, we are required to communicate those matters to those charged with governance. The responsibilities of management and those charged with governance. Management is responsible for the preparation of the financial statements that give a true and fair view in accordance with IFRS's and the Cooperative Societies Act and the requirement. And for such internal control as management determines is necessary to enable the preparation of the financial statements that are free from material misstatements. The other responsibilities of management are in the following paragraph. The auditor's responsibility for the financial statement. Our objective is to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud, and to issue the auditor's report that include our opinion. The other details in relation to the auditor's responsibility are in the paragraphs that follow. I will just skip to the last page of our report. Report on additional information as required by the Cooperative Societies Act. We have obtained all the information and explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. In our opinion, proper accounting records have been maintained so far as it appears from our examination of those records and the financial statements which are in accordance therewith. They give the information required by the Cooperative Societies Act in the manner so required. The engagement partner on the audit resulting in the independent auditor's report is Mr. Sixto Coy, signed HLB Mayor Russell and dated March 30th, 2023. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thompson. Thank you. All right, as you see on the screen there, it is saying 2020. 2021, but it's actually 2022. I take it great pleasure in presenting the Treasurer's report for the financial year ended December 2022. The financial results for 2022 were very impressive and not only represents a return on our pre-COVID-19 levels, but in terms of profitability, the results also represents the highest surplus ever achieved by First Regional since inception. Thank you. This was achieved in a global environment with a growth rate that had slowed to 3.2%, more than 1% weaker than the growth that was expected at the end of 2021. Based on the OECD economic outlook. The slowdown in the growth was mainly due to the Russian war of aggression in Ukraine and associated costs of living in many countries. This also resulted in a global economy that saw heightened concern about financial vulnerabilities in financial institutions. In the housing market and among low-income countries, there were challenges. Other economic level experience in the last decade, and one in which the lingering COVID-19 pandemic continued to weigh heavily on economic performance and outlook. On the local level, our economy continued to show signs of recovery in 2022. The World Bank report published on April 3rd, 2023 indicated that Jamaica's real GDP expanded by an annual average rate of 4.4% between 2021 and 2022, primarily reflecting continued recovery in the tourism and agricultural sector. The report further suggested that rising economic activity experienced in Jamaica in 2022 resulted in a reduction in the poverty rate to 12.6%. You're feeling that? Okay. Boosted labor market conditions and results in the unemployment rate falling below pre-pandemic levels. Despite the recovery in the local economy for 2022, we were cautioned that the outlook for 2023 suggested significant downside risk in a global economy, which could undermine the recovery in the tourism sector. Depressed remittance inflows, increased borrowing costs, and derail long-term growth as time progresses. At the credit union level, First Regional Board of Directors and management continue to leverage the opportunities provided by local and global economics to improve our financial performance and to strengthen other key areas of our operation to ensure that we remain a viable option within the financial sector. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, most of our loans were tied to the hospitality sector. These loans were negatively impacted by the pandemic and resulted in a significant erosion in our income. However, the COVID-19 pandemic also acted as the catalyst needed by us to diversify our loan portfolio to include other sectors. As a result, at the end of 2022, our loan portfolio had a good mixture of development and business loans to complement loans in the hospitality sector and represent a much healthier loan portfolio compared to the previous years. I will just go through some financial results, I guess in brief, because the information is already in the booklet. At the end of 2022, First Regional total income was 873 million, which was 116 million more than the 757 million achieved in 2021. This represents the highest income we have ever achieved in the history of First Regional. And it's also additional evidence that First Regional has fully recovered from the fall off in income that was as a result of COVID-19 pandemic that lasted for about 2 years. In 2022, we attained 700 million mark for interest income from loans, and that occurred for the first time since 2009. We have earned in excess of 100 million from interest and investment. Loan income and investment from investment accounted for 97% of the income earned by First Regional in 2022. So it is important to note that the members for the credit union actually saving, and the credit union has disbursed, or the portfolio making up, over probably 90% of loans that persons are actually benefiting from. Because if the credit union have these facilities and the members are not benefiting, then the growth would be stifled. So we have to commend the members for saving and also for borrowing to improve their life, because that's what it's about, improving your life for yourself, family, and the community. All right, these income are again moving in the right direction, and as an indication that First Regional capacity for earning higher income in the future is also improving. First Regional is not overly concerned that we are only earning 3% from fees and other income, because our practice was never to levy high fees on members. So we don't have a fees problem like some other places. Why levy fees on your own members? It doesn't make sense. All right. Interest expense remained relatively stable between 2021 and 2022, accounting for 6% and 7% respectively of the total operating expense of First Regional. Our loan impairment provision decreased from 28% of total expense in 2021 to 5% of total expense in 2022. This is an indication that the delinquency status of several of our loans is improving, and our members, especially those in the hospitality sector, have returned to full employment. In 2022, operating expense accounted for 88% of the total expense for First Regional, which is an increase of 22% compared to the prior year. This increase of 22% was mainly impacted by the improvement in the impairment status of our loan portfolio, as well as an increase in the operating expense for 2022 compared to 2021. The loan impairment provision of $30 million for 2022 represents a decrease of 86% from the amount recorded in 2021 of $207 million. This is the third lowest annual provision recorded since 2009 and is an indication that First Regional has recovered from the high level reported in 2021 and 2020. And we must note that the loan portfolio, I mean, most institutions now are suffering from payments, repayments of loans because of, issues with salary and business not going well and such like. But again, we must commend the members for First Regional. They don't run away and hide from the credit committee. They work with the credit committee so that they can fulfill their obligation. Because when you don't pay your loans, the delinquency rate is going to go up. And when it goes up, it affects the profitability of the credit union. Because the credit union is for members, it's not for profit per se. It's an appropriation of profit to the members and the institution. So if you don't pay your loan on time, it is going to affect the credit union. So don't hide from the credit committee. Just talk to them. And, we have one of the best easy-going CEO to speak to, Mr. Billings. He's easy to talk to. And, he will guide you in the right direction. And a lot of persons doesn't seem to appreciate the credit union the right way of what it was formed to be. So a lot of people would tend to go to, we call them the loan shark. So they promise you a loan, but you're paying back 5 times the amount for the loan in a shorter period of time because you can just walk in and 10 minutes you walk out with the loan. But time will tell you that the quicker you get a loan is the more risk you have on that loan. And when you try to recover your money, you can't recover it. So the credit union is not running after interest and running after what other institutions are looking at. What we are trying to do is to make the base important for the member, that the member can be comfortable in banking and saving at the credit union and at the same time keep the institution going. And that is the reason why First Regional Credit Union has stand tall for such a long time. Because the members realize the importance of the credit union, not for the credit union board, but for the members of the credit union. Do you love First Regional? I love First Regional. I like to be, a part of First Regional. All right. Operating expenses increased by 51 million or 11% to 480 million, from 480 million in 2021 to 531 in 2022. The growth of 11% for 2022 was significantly less than the average annual increase of 18% between 2009 and 2022. Which is an indication that for 2022, we did a very good job in controlling operating expenses. And we must say thanks to the staff at First Regional. They do a very good job. And every expense, they look at it and they help to contribute. So every leak in pipe, every light switch that may remain on, they will turn it off. and they will have their input in cost saving within the offices. And because of that, the operating expense, is where it is right now. So please commend the staff at the credit union, all the branches across the country, for the good job that they have done. Because I have always said, everything starts from one. I mean, if you're in maths, you can say start from minus, but you start counting from one, and everything adds up. So there is no expense that is there that is not one that you can amend or adjust. And the more you can save is the more that you would have to spend. All right? I am very happy to report that the net surplus of 270 million achieved in 2022 is the highest level that has achieved in the history. And what you can, go ahead there. We are not gloating on this, right? But what we're trying to emphasize is that after 2 years of losses, the credit union has rebounded to a positive position. And at a time when the economy is still difficult, able to generate $270 million profit, net surplus. That is very significant and have to be noted, right? The fact that this surplus was achieved immediately after the 2 years, and probably these 2 years is the most difficult years in Jamaica. I am not sure, but it was very challenging. At times, especially the persons in the tourism sector, wonder, well, boy, if hotels are going to open back, are the ships going to come back? Are airport going to be reopened? So, there's a lot of things that was happening, and persons were very uncertain about what, was taking place. But, the Lord has been on our side, and because of that, we can rejoice. So let us rejoice in the good performance, man. Yes. All right. We realize a fair gain value on investment of 12 million, but we also suffered a actuarial loss of 32 million on the retirement benefit asset, pension fund, which resulted in a net loss in other comprehensive income of 20 million, and total comprehensive income 250 million for 2022. So the loss on the pension fund investment, if you are in pension, you too would have seen a loss on your pension investment for 2022. There was a serious dent in that industry in Jamaica for 2022, where there were losses on almost every aspect of investment in pension. And I am very concerned about that, because if you have investment in pension and it can't take care of you when you reach a pensionable age, then there's a little problem there, because things are getting more and more expensive. So you basically have to set yourself in a position where you're able to finance yourself when you are in retirement age. So the retirement funds, they have to fire, they have to basically lift the value, because if the value is less, it's going to affect everything. And we see it here, it has affected us where the comprehensive income is concerned. All right, I'll just move to the balance sheet quickly. Total assets as at the end of December 2022 stood at $9.5 billion, which represent a growth of 1.1 billion or 15% over 2021, where it was 8.4 billion. I would like to tell you, we are not in 2023 reporting figures, but we actually have reached $10 billion in 2023 at the credit union. So we have stepped in another league now where, when I say league, I don't mean the league, you know what I mean? But we have stepped in another category of large credit unions in Jamaica. And sometimes people memory kind of short, but there was a time when First Regional was struggling. And some people were wondering if the merging of St. Anne and St. Mary did make sense. Because St. Mary was saving, but St. Mary now borrow. Or St. Anne saving, St. Anne borrow. You know, the growth was impeded by many things. But, you know, the persons that were there at the time, you know, the CEO at the time, they did a very good job in moving First Regional forward. And with their input, there were mergers with Hospitality Credit Union, mergers with Roundhill. You know, the addition of the branch in Negril and the addition of the Kingston branch has brought us right across Jamaica. And that is very important because if you are coming from a one credit union parish, and now we are in, how many parishes are in, Mr. Billings? No, man, not really 12, but, you know, probably about 5 or 6 parishes. No, it is very important that we are growing. You know, we are progressing and we are not regressing. So, very good job there for the credit union as we stand. All right? The loan portfolio, we have said, is the driving force in the credit union because basically that is most of what we do in the business, right? So based on the regulatory requirements of Pearl Standard, a credit union is deemed to have a good loan to total asset ratio when the loan to members represent 60 to 80% of total assets of the credit union. The challenges we encountered during the COVID-19 pandemic period resulted in this ratio falling to a low of 62% at the end of 2021. For 2022, we were able to improve our loan to total asset ratio to 70%, and we are aiming to take this ratio to at least 75% by the end of 2023. Our net loan to members of $6.7 billion at the end of 2022 also represents a healthier loan portfolio to prior years because we are able to reduce our concentration on loans in the hospitality sector and increase our loans in other sectors such as real estate and development business. In 2022, our investment portfolio decreased by $335 million or 12% from $2.7 billion reported in 2021 to $2.3 billion in 2022. Return on investment for 2022 was significantly higher than the returns for previous years. However, our loan to members were still providing us with the higher returns, and so the reduction in our investment portfolio for 2022 was due to our decision to encash some of our investment to satisfy demands for loan. So basically what we're saying is that the monies that we had on paper short-term investment was basically encashed and transferred to lend members money so that they can continue with their business and make their lives better. And you can only do that in an institution when you have liquidity, when you have money. Right? If you don't have no money, you can't move anything from anywhere. Right? But the credit union is in a position where they can hold off on investment in non-activities, stuff that you invest, on securities and so forth. We can shift it and lend the members money. Isn't that good? Sound like it's so good. But that is very good. When you have liquidity and you can move it around to satisfy the needs of the time. All right. I'm almost done, you know. Almost done. Voluntary shares grew by 13% in 2022. However, there was less than 16% growth recorded in 2021. Growth in members' deposit for 2022 was 11%. This was also less than the 15% reported in 2021. Despite the reduction in the growth rate in members, voluntary savings for 2022, the growth rate was still considered to be significant and represent a vote of confidence in First Regional as the institution's choice for deposit by members. It is important to note that persons are actually saving more. Because if you don't save, you don't have anything to get, you know. And First Regional members are saving more even in difficult times. And that is the hallmark of, you know, good membership. So everything don't come as a burden. If you don't save, you know, members, it's going to be a burden to somebody, you know. Because when something happens or you can't work or something happens, you have to go to somebody to get some help. But when you save, you can go on your mattress or in your pan, in your piggy bank or somewhere to take out something. But when you don't have nothing to take out, it becomes a problem to even your closest family. Boy, I can't lend nothing today. No. I can't lend nothing again. I lend enough already. I don't have no more. Cause problem and war. So all those persons who are not, you know, in First Regional, tell them to come over to First Regional. Because we have a good thing going on in First Regional Credit Union. Permanent share grew by 3% or 5 million in 2022, which was the same growth rate experienced in 2021. At the end of 2022, permanent shares stood at 171 million. We are not only aiming to continue to grow our permanent shares, but also return this ratio to at least 5%, which is the growth in membership. This is specified by the PEARLS standard required for Code 1 rating. First Regional remain well capitalized with a capital base ratio of 14.85% for 2022. This is a reduction of the 16.03% reported for the prior year, but still significantly higher than the 8% required by the Jamaica Co-operative Credit Union League and 6% required by the Bank of Jamaica. So in other words, where we are doubling, more than doubling what BOJ require, and we are almost doubling what the Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League have laid out. Mr. Ehud had asked a question. And one thing with the credit union, you know, we are free to speak and to make input. And Mr. Ehud asked a very important question, which means that he's reading and studying the financial, right? So he was saying the capital base has declined from last year to this year, which is the case, right? Why? In 2021, there was no provision to move surplus for that year to our capital reserve, other than our regular 20%, because there was nothing to move, because we never make any money, so we could not have moved anything there. So when your asset or liability base increase and your institutional capital remain the same, or institutional plus other capital, it means that you're going to get a lower percentage, right? But I'm happy to report that for 2022, if we get the clearance, that we will be bringing over $100 million into our capital reserve. And when that is done, we will be at 16%, which is similar to where we were in 2021, right? Because it tells you, if you make money and you don't put any money away for a rainy day, or another COVID, or hurricane, or any disaster, if you don't put it away, you won't have it to use. So you have to put away funds when you make a surplus, because otherwise it gets used up and do other things. So we have to make sure that we put away amounts to our capital, that it will not take flight, it will remain there to keep the credit union solid, safe, secure, solvent, and which other S again? Well, if we get our next S. Strong, okay. Thank you very much. And strong. All right. So I think that's where we are now. All the other information were actually in the report. So okay, so based off where we are now with the reports, are there any questions? Yes.
I have just a few questions. I can't tell you what the number is right now, but there are a few of them. One, with such a large membership base, can the credit union begin to put together an offer or a plan to its members to repension? Not just the workers, the members. You have in the government, they offer social pension. We're not talking about that, but thinking along that line. Because what I'm picking up with some members is that they would mind if their credit union could consider a pension scheme for them. So, that is one to you, Mr. Treasurer.
Well, that is something that management will consider.
Right.
So it's a very important area.
We use this meeting to bring that forward. The other thing is this. We noticed that in your defined benefit plan, there was an actuarial loss of $32 million.
Right.
And it's a defined benefit plan. An actuarial loss. Maybe you could explain that a little more. That's one aspect. And also, if you can just let us know what is the accrual rate you're using in this one.
All right. The actual loss, right? I'll try my best to see how I can explain it, right? When you invest in a pension fund, the pension fund managers invest the monies in different portfolio. So, you know, they may invest in stock, mutual funds, in bonds, you know, may invest in real estate and all of that, right? During the year, based off of the returns that comes in from the investment, the amounts that are there is in a fund. So if the returns comes in negative or you get less interest, it means that the amount that is in the fund is going to be less. And if it's more, it is going to be more. At the end of the year, they actually take what is in the fund and then look on all the results for the year, and based off of the analysis, because it have to be a a future analysis, looking in the future as to what they think may happen or may occur, to then come up with the amount that the pension would value at the time based off of the returns that they are getting from the investment. So at such a time, you will end up with a loss or you will end up with a gain. So in 2021, we ended up with a gain, and in 2022, we ended up with a loss. I don't know if I answered it as you would want to.
Yeah, I think that's fair, because I think most pension schemes are in a trap, and a financial trap right now, because we know the stock market is not where it was, and most funds are in that.
Precisely.
And so I think that a lot of people watching this thing carefully, because, you know, there's that even persons who expect dividends to be coming from some investments, they're not getting it yet, eh?
Nothing.
And the story continues, because we are now hearing of other entities, other businesses that are not declaring dividends. So one, maybe we might continue to see losses for a little more time in this. But I'm interested also in the accrual rate, because if you have to be paying out and you're making losses, is this going to be a problem ahead? Maybe you don't have to state them.
Yeah, because I couldn't state that. But that is a concern, because to us, because when we were looking at the financial statements, because the actuarial adjustment come right at the end after everything, and we were in a better position, and then when we got the last aspect, it then reduced profitability. So that is something that we're looking at to see how, you know, we can move forward positively. Right. Yeah.
You know, I must commend the credit union for, you know, putting money down instead of putting it to waste, putting it down somewhere where it's earning. For instance, I noticed that you invest in the T-bills, and you also invest in the QMAX bond. What I don't know is, what are these coupon rates? Like the coupon rate for the QMAX bond, is it above or below the inflation rate? Not a criticism. I mean, it's a smart move. But just for us to know, was it below inflation rate or was it above inflation rate?
Just about.
Just about?
Yeah.
Okay.
In line.
So all kudos to the credit union. I mean, I'm listening and it sounds as if you're really doing an excellent job in terms of your financial, stewardship. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks to the members and the board and the management. You know, they are the ones that are doing it. Thank you. Any more questions? Come now. Let us continue, please.
Okay. Mr. President, through you to the Treasurer. Before I don't get the chance to say it, I like the pragmatic way in how you present your report, and even being dramatic sometimes. I just want to ask one question, sir. Where you have strengthening of our capital base, could you explain that a little for us? Thank you.
All right. In a business, normally, you have assets and you have liabilities, right? If somebody is starting up a business and they need capital, they'll have to borrow. So the capital is actually the money that you borrow, right? In the credit union setup, we have to ensure that we have monies available that if something happens, we are able to draw on that money that is not in investment, liquid investment, like bonds and treasury bills or loans and such like. But there's an amount that is put aside that we are able to draw on it. Because if we don't have such thing in place, and there's a run on the credit union, and everybody wants back their money, you have a problem. So you have to have a base so that you have cash available in case of anything. It's a contingency plan or a contingency fund, if you want to call it that way.
Thank you, sir. Enough said.
Thank you, sir.
Like how you mentioned Russian aggression.
I don't know, Russian war, that better.
If your enemy is coming at your gate, you need to be prepared for that.
That's true.
All right. The highest total income in the history of our operations. When I was going to high school, I used to get 30 cents per day. An acquaintance now is getting $1,000. Comparative value. So although you might jump and shout about this, when you look at it, it might not be the biggest in comparative value. So. All right, the other thing is, I like your response to the ratio capital base to total assets. I really like your response to that. Look at the diversification of loan portfolio. Could you give me some percentage in real estate, business investment? How about motor car loans now? That's still...
I can't give you any percentages, no. But what I can tell you is that we have shifted the focus from just being on loans for the tourism sector and transportation. We have moved into other areas, business development, real estate and such like, so that we can have a more balanced portfolio in terms of loans being issued.
How is that going?
Very good. Very good. I mean, the credit union is investing, alongside others. Probably if you pass down Draxal, you will see a sign down there, project financed by First Regional.
What impressive, man.
Yeah, you see it down there.
Eh? You have to forgive me, I don't leave.
Okay, yeah, and we are also in investment with Suncoast in St. Thomas, which is, couple miles out of Bull Bay. I mean, you have a picture? Oh, it's in the book as well, yes. So we are aligning, ourselves, with people that want to go somewhere and see First Regional as an option, but we're not exposing ourselves, We are very prudent in what we are doing. Page 36 in the magazine, you will see that there. Any other question? All right. Sorry.
First of all, I must commend Credit Union. I joined that bank about 20 years now. And I have started another account with Sagicor. I shouldn't say the name. Honestly.
You can just say S-Bank.
I have an insurance company that I joined, a life insurance. And what I did, I take the saving from there, and I wanted to go to First Regional. So what? They couldn't send it straight to the bank. So they said I have to have another bank, because I have an issue already. So I joined another bank. So they sent it to that one now, because I have some money, and I wanted to come to this region. So they say I have to send it to the bank. So I wonder why they can't send it straight to this bank, because they said this is not a bank. So I have to send it there, and then I go down to the other bank now and ask them to wire it to this bank. They ask me why I'm taking it, because they can't invest it for me. I say no, I have business with Credit Union. So
all right, let me tell you why. Mr. Billings will
Sorry that you have had that issue, but the situation now is that almost any financial institution, in Jamaica, can do real-time transfers. So I don't know why they would have told you they can't send it to us. All they would have had to do is call us, ask you for the information that you have, which of the branches you bank. They could have called the branch, and they would have heard our banking information. So you can get the banking information in the branch. You just ask the branch for it, and you can take it to them.
Yes, I got one. Get it to that down bank. They send it to the money now. Say it is a credit union now.
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Billings. And just to say that the credit union is not a commercial bank, right? The credit union is a.
Sing.
No man, is a what do you call it? Friendly society. What's that again? It's a cooperative. Thank you. Credit union is a cooperative. It is not a commercial bank. So you will not find where you can actually have a RGTS or a transfer between that entity and a commercial bank easily, right? So that is part of the issue. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. My name is Silvera, Kenry Silvera. Well, I come here with an expectation to hear that shares are going up. But based on the bragging and boasting, I know I'm not going to hear that this evening or today. So,
what do you mean by shares going up?
Last time I come to a meeting, we hear that the shares will go up, although it is open to us.
I wish meeting that you hear that.
Yeah, man, the last meeting in Runaway Bay, it was home to us. Either the shares goes up or, yeah, it was either shares.
Are you speaking about dividend?
Yeah, so we hope we're not expecting that. Come here, a bragging and a boasting as in you're making money.
All right, well, I mean, we don't reach that part yet. With
I feel like me a jumping gun, but I just ask.
Yes, so you'll soon hear about that part of it.
Yeah, and the next one I want to ask is, like how things are going, when we borrow a loan, I expect that we are going at least 4 or 5% that will come back off.
Well, I have, as I said before, Mr. Billings is one of the most accessible person and easy to talk to person. So if you're having a problem with interest and loan, you can just speak to Mr. Billings.
No,
facilitate you.
Everybody in here want to hear.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So this is not the forum to discuss interest charge and different stuff. That's not. We don't do that here.
So I have to do it 1.5, then I may get my one different.
Come on.
Okay,
so,
thanks.
Yeah, because interest is something that is intricate. I mean, it right now interest rate is going up, all over. Interest rate is not actually going down. So prudency have to be the order of the day in making decisions. You know what I mean? So each member, if they have an issue, they speak to their credit manager, or they can speak to Mr. Billings. All right, thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to have a motion move to adopt the treasurer's report. Can you please state your name for the record?
Yvonne Silvera. I move the motion.
Yvonne Silvera. Which branch?
Port Mara branch.
Port Mara branch. Thank you very much. Seconded by Ralston Isaac. Port Mara branch. Thank you. Port Mara branch, I take it on today. All in favor? Okay. Anyone against? The ayes have it. Thank you. All right, I'll just move now to the adoption of surplus and fixing of maximum liability. All right. As of 2022 December, we have surplus of $453 million. We have actuarial interest income and loans, accrual interest and loans, 57 million. When we deduct that, we have an amount of 396 million. So the proposal for the appropriation for 2022 is as follows. Additional transfer to statutory reserve, $100 million. Tertiary scholarship, 1.7 million. Scholarship and other donations, 6 million. Honoraria, 5.3 million. Mr. Silveira? Dividend and permanent shares, which is 15% of principal balance as at year end, $25,680,000. Total distribution, $138,680,000, which would left us with undistributed surplus of $257,598,000. All right, as per changes statement with the change of equity on page 11 of the financial statement in the AGM booklet as at year end 2022, we had 453 million in undistributed surplus, 57 in interest accrual. Right, once we take that out, it leaves us with the 396. So the distribution of 138 million is what we are asking you to move for us. So if we can have someone to move. Sorry? Huh? Oh, it's not in the book? Okay. Oh, sorry, it's not in the book. Sorry. Sorry about that. So, additional transfer, statutory reserve, 100 million. Tertiary scholarship, 1.7 million. Scholarship and other donation, 6 million. Honoraria, 5.3 million. And dividend to permanent shares, $25.6 million. So can we have a motion to adopt the appropriation of surplus? Or I should just do the maximum liability? All right. Maximum liability. All right. I have this to do as well, so I'll just do it at the same time. It is proposed that the maximum liability of the credit union be fixed at 6 times the value of First Regional institutional capital. This is Mr. Haywood's favorite part. At the end of 2022, the value of the institutional capital was $1,237,981,000. Therefore, the maximum liability at this point would be $7,427,886,000. So we would like if we could get the motion, adopt a motion for the appropriation of the surplus and the fixing of the maximum liability. If you could state your name and thank you very much, Mr. Patrick Haywood. Port Maria. But everything I Port Maria today. Port Maria, we'll get some gifts. All right. Seconded by? No, man. Well, go on. Carol Johnson Bell. Thank you very much. Port Maria, thank you. All is in favor? Okay. Anyone against? The ayes have it. Thank you. Sorry. Institutional capital. Yeah. The one that we must have and keep increasing. Yes. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Mr. Bryan for that marathon run. Now we have some citation that Mr. Billings will read and present. So now we have the presentation of citation.
All right. Sorry to come back again, but we have been advised that we should do 2 motions, one for the fixing of the maximum liability and one for the appropriation of the surplus. So we did do the 2 of them already. So we'll just take the first one for the surplus. So we do them. All right, okay. All right, so we'd like to have a motion for the adoption of the distribution of surplus. If you could state your name and the branch you are from. Shakisha? Or Tashika Martin? Ocherius? All right, you do the next one. Yeah. Takisha? No, I get. Millicent Mackenzie. Thank you. All right, all in favor? Aye. Anyone against? Anyone abstaining? The ayes have it. All right, and for the fixing of the maximum liability, we would, Mr. Haywood, you could do it again, please. All right, thank you very much. And seconded by? Yes, this young lady here. Okay, thank you. Claudia Latti, Badir, Kingston Branch, Ligani. Thank you. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Okay, anyone against? Anyone abstaining? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Corporators, this is a bittersweet moment. We have 2 directors retiring. Mrs. Pollyanna Brown Mullins and Mrs. Lorraine Brownwright. Mrs. Brownwright is absent because there's a death in the family. But we have Mrs. Mullins, Brown Mullins, with us. Mrs. Mullins. Citation to Pollyanna Brown Mullins, Director, First Regional Co-operative Credit Union Limited. Nothing liberates our greatness like the desire to help, the desire to serve. And that's a quote from Marion Williamson. Inspector of Police, volunteer and director extraordinaire, Mrs. Pollyanna Brown Mullins embodies the qualities that First Regional operates by: solid, safe, and secure. These fundamental qualities have inured to the credit union's benefit as she discharged her duties as a director of First Regional. Mrs. Brown Mullins is passionate about First Regional and the role it plays in the lives of its members, employees, and the communities it serves. Her love and dedication to the credit union were demonstrated in the active participation at the monthly board meetings, wherein she made notes, asked pertinent questions for clarity, made suggestions to improve staffing, service delivery, marketing, and the credit union's safety and security, not just financially, but in terms of risk. She was passionate about these areas as she believed a well-trained and motivated workforce, effective marketing, and excellent service delivery would set the credit union apart, and safety and security were paramount and essential to its existence. A member since 1993, with a burning desire to serve, Mrs. Brown Mullins was elected to serve on the board of directors in 2017. In her 6 years as a director, she served on the policies, marketing and education, human resources, risk management and audit, and the properties committee, and as second vice president for the 2018 to 2023 terms. Mrs. Brown Mullins, First Regional Cooperative Credit Union, thanks you for your invaluable contributions to our members and to the governance of the credit union these past 6 years. We thank you for your steadfast commitment, tireless dedication, and service to our success. Thank you for sharing your expertise, your wisdom, and sense of humor with all of us. And thank you for being an amazing volunteer. We will surely miss you.
I would just like to endorse the sentiment by Mr. Billings to Director Mullins, who served well in her tenure as director. Surely, Miss Sir. So, Miss Howell? Who coming? Mr. Stamp. Okay. I now invite Mr. Alton Stamp of the Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Society to take over with respect to the affirmation of persons who have been nominated to sit on the Board of Directors, the Supervisory Committee, and the Credit Committee. Mr. Stamp.
No, my name has not changed. Good afternoon, everyone. All right, so we've anchored over to the afternoon session now, right? So good afternoon, cooperators, directors, members in the audience, invited guests from the various institutions. My name is Tashika Howell, Compliance Officer, and on behalf of the Registrar of Cooperatives, I bring you greetings and best wishes. Congratulations on a credit union's performance of brilliance, absolute brilliance. It's beautiful, everyone. Excellent navigation of hard times, as this is evident in your growth and has led to the proposal of distribution of surplus and the payment of dividends to your members. The comeback was indeed greater than the setback. Right, Mr. Billings? Where's Mr. Billings? All right, perfect. So this growth is evidence of the stewardship of the board of directors over the past year, as well as the astute management team of the credit union. As such, the department offers hearty congratulations to the board and management of the credit union in ensuring that the members' funds are being put to great use to ensure that the members may receive a dividend. At this year's 45th AGM, we wish you a successful year ahead. Mr. Stamp.
Good afternoon. All protocol observed. We have before us the nominating committee report, and I now invite a motion for the nominating committee report to be taken as read. Can someone move?
Beverly Williamson from Anata Bay.
Can you go again, please?
Beverly Williamson from Anata Bay.
All right, so at this time, I'd like to ascertain the quorum in the room, just by a show of hands, and the quorum online as well. Yes, I want to know if we still have a quorum. All right, so that's a total of 101 in the room and 5 persons online. All right, so I now invite a motion for the adoption of the nominating committee report. Can you use the mic, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. Norde Palmer Discovery.
No. Can you repeat, please?
Norde Palmer Discovery.
Can I have a seconder?
And Carver White.
All in favor? Any against? Any abstentions? All right, the ayes have it. All right, so I will now proceed to conduct the election in accordance with Rule 62 of your Constitution. Your rules were amended in 2016, June 4, 2016, to state that there shall be no nominations from the floor. So you are going to consider the nominating committee report, and you are going to elect based on what they have recommended. I am going to do this election and take all the recommendations en bloc. So the board of directors, the supervisory committee, and the credit committee, we're going to do them together. And according to your rules, once you have a nomination for each vacant position, then you will not be voting by ballots. So you are going to do a simple show of hands whether you are in agreement with the nominating committee report, or you're against it, or you abstain. So I will now invite a motion to duly elect the members suggested by the nominating committee report en bloc. Do I have a mover? All right, can you state your name, please?
Antholon Jones, Sentence Bay Branch.
All right, do I have a seconder? All right, so we want to know all who are in favor now. So I'm asking for assistance for the count. So if you are in favor, please raise your hand. Those online, you can use the raise hand feature as well. Yes, if you do not show your hand, that means you're abstaining. All right, anyone against? Any abstentions? All right, so I want to say congratulations to the following persons. Those are for the board of directors, Patrick Bryan, Mrs. Suzette Wilson, Ijilok Mullins, Mr. Cecil Garden, Bishop Rankin Clark, Miss Marian Case, and Miss Pearline Bailey. For the supervisory committee, Mr. Andre Yishu, Altia Landell, Suzette Barnes-Wilson, Eloise Brown-Panton, and Michael Mackenzie. For the credit committee, we have Judy Bell, Lanthony Williams, Robert Chippy, and Miss Florette Henry. Can I get a round of applause for these persons? All right, you are required to meet within 10 days among yourselves to elect your officers and also to provide that information to the Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Societies. All right, and we are also going to invite a motion to empower the board of directors to elect delegates and alternate delegates to the Jamaican Corporate Credit Union League. Can someone so move? Is there a seconder? All in favor? Any against? Any abstentions? All right, so the ayes have it. All right, so now I hand back the meeting to the chairman. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I'd like to thank Miss Stamp, Miss Owell, and Mr. Stamp for the guidance through this period. Now we move to the Long Service Award. So Billings will carry us through that. You want some giveaway? There's a choice between the giveaway and lunch. Which one you prefer, the lunch or the giveaway? So we have some giveaway.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. So we actually have some really good giveaways now, yeah? We're going large and then go for lunch. Yes. All right, so we're excluding staff for the first question, and then we'll take care of you guys, right? This prize, it's actually noticed there's nothing on the stage, big or anything, because some very good things come in small packages, right? All right, so we're actually giving away a progressive foods gift card valued at $20,000. All right, so the member, so it's a double-barrel question, real quick. The member who can tell me what is our total asset base at the end of 2022 and our comprehensive income for the year 2022. Remember, it's double barrel. Quickly. Total assets, comprehensive income.
9.5. 9.5, you're an half.
One more. Come.
And 3. Oh, 3.1 again.
All right.
3 point something, I don't remember.
We want. Sorry, you don't remember. The next person, we have to go for lunch. Oh, good try, though. Good attempt. You may go to the mic. Go to the mic, please.
It was 9 million, because you round it off, and then the other one was 3.1.
No, sorry about that. Good attempt. Good try.
873 million.
Total assets for 2022
is 270 million.
Go to the mic, please.
Million.
Thank you.
Total assets was $9.49 billion. And the other one was?
Comprehensive income?
873?
No. Net. The comprehensive net income for the year 2022. You have the person go to a mic and answer the question, please. On our total asset base.
Income, the total asset, 9.5 billion, 250 point something million, must be 5. Or 250.1 or 250.5, not sure.
All right, congratulations. Reverend Dr. Glenn Valera, can you just present him with this gift certificate for me, please? Yeah, he's been representing for the Discovery Bay branch. Put your hand together. Turn to the camera, please. So time is against us, but the staff, we have to give you a chance to win as well, right? You can win some money. I'll tell you after the answer the question real quickly. It's not difficult. You should know this. If you can tell us, just the staff only. This is staff only. Yes, staff only. Excluding manager. Excluding manager. Staff only. Tell us the 6. The First Regional has won Mega Credit Union 6 times. In what years? Use a microphone, please. If you can say it loud enough. Go ahead.
2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018.
That's 4.
2020, 2021.
Yes. And we had a lot of money for you guys, you know. If you can tell me one more, if anybody can tell me the one of the years that is not written on the banner, you get to win the prize. Anyone, member of staff. Not an orchestrated shout. Someone raise their hand and say it. Someone going to the mic? Come, staff.
I hope I'm right. 2021.
And you are wrong. Next
2020.
person. Next staff member. That was said.
2023. 2013.
No, wrong. Come, hurry up.
2009.
And we have a winner. Every year Jeremy do this, you know. So it's Reverend Dr. Kelale, I'll just ask you to present this again as well. So Jeremy has just won for himself $10,000. All right, we just have one more. Quickly. Everybody. This is from the Jamaica Co-operative Credit Union League. Miss Lindo, I don't know if she had to leave, right? But they always support us. They always support our meetings, and they always bring a prize. All right? Awesome. All right? So anybody can tell me this. Tell me the name of our assistant treasurer. When you win for yourself, $5,000. Who's that? No, who's it? Red. Is it that Mullins? Wrong.
Sean Harris.
Well, you can't, not an organization show. Well, I'll ask another question.
Mr. Hillock Mullins.
It's not Hillock Mullins. Please have a seat.
Here.
Okay, so I've been advised that the answer was given by
Mr. Sean Harris.
Ding, 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 ding. She's won. Yeah. She was the first one? All right. So the judges have made a decision. All right, come for the prize, Miss Brown. Okay, again, Reverend Leila, please. I'm sorry. So she's won for herself $5,000 from the Jamaica Co-operative Credit Union League.
Fellow cooperators, this segment we are going to recognize some member of staff. There are actually 7 members of staff who have served the credit union for 10 years and over. I don't know if they're all here, but I'm inviting the president, Mr. Mason, to issue the awards. The Long Service Awards is presented to Bridget Anderson. Miss Anderson? Miss Anderson is an attendant at the Highgate branch. Is Stacy Johnson here? Okay. The other award goes to Rosemary Lyons, office attendant cook at the Brownstown branch. Eugenie Powell is here. Sandra Reese. Sandra Reese is the cook at the Port Maria branch. Is Miss Riley here, Romaine? The other awardees who are not here would be Stacy Johnson, Eugenie Powell, Romaine Riley, and Rohan Stevenson. They are not here. Let's give them a round of applause.
We just asked Ms. Case and Ms. Bailey, our new minted directors, to join us up here.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right, we'd just like to also acknowledge a few persons who have been working with us over the years, who has invited us into the institution that they work and promote the credit union and always referring members. So we'd first like to acknowledge Miss Lashane Mead, HR Manager at Moon Palace, Jamaica. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. She's always assisting, providing the members of staff with deduction forms, like always working in the institution for the credit union. We'd also like to acknowledge Miss Jennifer Chambers from the Associated Manufacturers Limited. She's the HR generalist, not the manager, HR generalist, right? She's always on top of it, always looking out for the credit union. We thank you. All right, give them another round of applause. They do assist our family.
Lunch was served at 12:30. It's now 12:45. And now we want to say thanks in an official way, so we ask Ms. Shirley Johnson to bring the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus Tullius Cicero, prominent statesman and one of the greatest orators of the Roman Republic, once said that gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. And so, on behalf of the First Regional family, I take immense pleasure in moving the vote of thanks. Members, you are the backbone of the credit union, the foundation upon which First Regional is built, and our primary support system. Thank you. Thank you for choosing First Regional. Thank you for your confidence in us. And thank you for your loyalty. Bill Clinton, the 42nd President of the United States of America, once said that volunteering is an act of heroism on a grand scale, and it matters profoundly. It does more than help people beat the odds. It changes the odds. Our volunteers have given selflessly of their time, expertise, and energy without no financial consideration. To the board of directors led by Mr. Donald Mason, our supervisory committee led by Mrs. Barnes Wilson, and our credit committee led by Ms. Marion Case, we express our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation. With your support and guidance, we did not only beat the odds amidst the challenges and uncertainties in both the global and local economies, but changed the odds. And today, we boast the highest net surplus First Regional has ever realized. Thank you. To the Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Societies, represented here today by Mr. Alson Stan and Ms. Tashika Howell, we extend our appreciation for your continued legal and legislative support. Thank you for guiding us through the election exercise and ensuring that due process was followed. To our umbrella organization, the Jamaica Co-operative Credit Union League, represented here today by Ms. Kimberly Lindo, we say thank you for the invaluable service that you have given to the movement as a whole and to First Regional in particular. The significance of your contribution cannot be overstated. someone wise always said that when we see relatives of an individual who has passed away crying, sometimes they are not only crying because of grief, but also because they do not know where to find the money to take care of funeral expenses. Thanks to CUNA Caribbean Jamaica, represented here today by Mr. Antholon Jones and Ms. Donette Hunter, our members are able to bury their loved ones with dignity. Thank you for the value-added service that you provide to the credit union movement. Our external auditors, HLB Mayor Russell, represented here today by Mr. Andrew Thompson and Ms. Sharon Lazarus, have been consistent over the years in providing an accurate account of our financial position and for giving us expert guidance. They have discharged their duties with the highest level of integrity and professionalism, and for that we say thank you. Everything rises and falls on leadership, says John C. Maxwell, renowned leadership expert. Sweat, blood, and tears. Successfully managing an organization such as this requires this sacrifice. And we can attest to the fact that Mr. Billings has poured out so much into this organization. Mr. Billings, we salute you and thank you for your hard work and dedication. And to the supporting team of managers, we say a big thank you for your unwavering dedication and commitment to realizing the strategic objectives of First Regional. To our dedicated staff, we say thank you. The dedication and commitment you have displayed amidst all the challenges you face have not gone unnoticed. You are the heart and soul of this entity, the engine that keeps us going. Thank you for the sacrifices that you continue to make. A special thank you to the IT department, Mr. Elvie and Mr. Brown, for the hard work and dedication you constantly display in ensuring that our meetings proceed seamlessly. At this point, I want to ask the business development team to stand and be acknowledged for all the long hours, painstaking work, and dedication displayed in planning this event. Also, it would be a miss of me if I did not publicly acknowledge Mr. Deslon Brown for managing the process. Job well done. Thank you. JIS, you continue to execute your duties of capturing and dispensing information with a high level of professionalism. We are pleased once more with the service you have given and look forward to continuing our partnership. To our photographer, Mr. Chavez Monroe, thank you for being here today to capture these cherished moments. Sandals, your ambience and service, as usual, is top tier. Thank you for your provisions, and we do look forward to the sumptuous meal that awaits. Ultimately, all praise and glory is due unto the Most High, our provider and sustainer, in whom we live and move and have our being. Thank you. Drift. We are definitely drifting closer to September, And so we know that back to school preparations are in high gear. We invite Mr. Brown to come forward and tell us about the loan product that we have for you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Johnson. Give her a round of applause. Thank you. That was amazing. All right, so quickly, we have the back to school loan buses back. All right, we are offering up to $1 million for persons to come and access to offset school expenses. All right, it's an unsecured loan. You need to have 10% of them are being borrowed. I need to provide proof of employment, proof of address, and the like, right? You can call 707-2048, or you can visit our website. We will have that information for you, right? So we're offering it. It's offered until September 30th. So please visit the nearest branch, call us, and if you're in need of assistance to go back to school, whether it be primary school, BXC school, high school, tertiary education, we are here to help you. And remember that I hope you submitted your applications for the tertiary bursaries or PEP scholarships, because we'll be giving those out before the end of August. So you also will be also assisting in that way as well. All right? Awesome? All right. All right. So make use of the process. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy your meal. Thank you guys so much. Blessings.
Want to give more louder appreciation, I'm sure, the President, a vote of thanks. And vote of thanks for Shirley, but a very hard worker, always there, and she give of herself. Now we come to the closing moment of this meeting. We'll be having lunch shortly. So, to ensure that we enjoy the lunch, we will say grace here. Because sometimes we just don't remember to say it. So better we say it here in group. True? I have to give thanks for that. Remember this one? For health and strength and... Want we stand and say that? You don't think we can sing it, you know? But if you sing it, you have to draw it. Am I going to school and for health and strength and... Because you're hungry. Oh, Lord. Amen. All right. I think maybe just remain standing, because now we'll have we just terminate the meeting, so with not more on the agenda to discuss, the meeting is now terminated, and we'll have the national anthem. I believe JS will play it for us. Oh, we have to sing it? So it's on the board. So somebody have better voice than me. Where is it? Bless, O Lamb, guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil power. Be our guide to bless us. Do all leaders, great defender, grant true wisdom from above. Justice to be all forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, Jamaica, Jamaica land we love. Teach us to respect for all every duty's call. Strengthen us that we to cherish. Leave us treasure lest we perish. Honors and us, Heavenly Father, grant you wisdom from above. Justice should be all forever. Jamaica land belong. Jamaica, Jamaica, Jamaica land belong. Thank you again for coming, and you'll be guided to lunch. Have a great day.
Okay, members. So the managers, the board of directors, persons from supervisory committee, credit committee, and also our special guest, you'll be having lunch downstairs, right? I can direct you to that area. And for the staff and our other members, the landing outside, the doors will be open, and you will go table by table to get your lunch. All right? Enjoy. Bon appetit.
If you want to take I'm serious, I do top speed. No fit to resonate, I'm on a different frequency. I don't think it's necessary. I'll be done with that.